Welcome back to Chit Chats, everybody. My name is Antonio.
And my name is Quinton, and let's have a chit chat.
Let's have a chit chat. Welcome back, everybody. Oh my god, my camera just went blurry. Hello? Hello? Ooh, you will be in focus now.
Okay.
That worked. Holy crap. I'm
Wow.
a wizard.
You're a
What
wizard.
can I say? Yeah,
That's
I'm
crazy.
magic camera powers.
It's been a while since we chit chat, so I think let's have a debate night is what I think we should do.
That's true. Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
completely different thing planned, but yeah, let's
Uh,
just jump into debate night. Two-person debate
uh,
night, and
uh,
the comment section can decide who won each debate.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Um, actually, what we have today has nothing to do with debates, unless
What?
the debate in question is, do you like Pokemon?
Well, then the debate answer would be yes.
Okay, well that's good that
Yeah.
that's the answer. I
Yeah.
don't know. Okay,
Okay,
look.
chit chat over.
Yep.
End the video.
Wait, I just realized. Do you like Pokemon? That's a yes or no question. So
Yeah.
that can't.
Well, I mean,
I guess you could debate
go into
that
detail.
depending on
Yeah.
the context of who you're talking about. I don't know, but either way.
Yeah.
Well, Quinton, you are someone that I know has like a good amount of knowledge about Pokemon or a good amount of appreciation for Pokemon. Growing up. I know
Okay.
that you.
Okay.
Well, why don't you tell me your experience with Pokemon? Like a brief
Yeah.
little thing about that.
I mean, if you were a real Tony Versal watcher, Antonio, you would know that I've explained my experience with Pokemon in a past
I
chit chat
don't
video.
doubt that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I remember which video it was? No, but it's in my hand right here. Yep, that's right. Now you have to find which video it's
Fuck. Okay.
in. But I'll explain it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my experience with Pokemon is I think the first game I ever played while I was sentient, I was aware of what even game I was playing was Pokemon Soul Silver. And ever since then, I have loved Pokemon, whether it's the animated TV show, the games, the trading card game. I've always been interested in this stuff. And while me and Pokemon, we've had a more distant relationship in years recent, I still really do like Pokemon.
Yeah, I think even, because I do think that, like, the games specifically, which, you could argue is, like, the core of Pokemon, there's been some ups and downs over the course of, like, the history of Pokemon. But I think the concept of Pokemon is what really keeps it strong, you know what I mean? Like, like monster catching and taming and, just like forming bonds with these cool creatures. Like that's what the core of Pokemon, and that's what makes it so lovable. And Quentin, you are someone who I thought would be good to do a special quiz based on the Pokemon
What?
franchise. I know what a quiz. Are you
That's what?
what?
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Do
I
you think you can do that?
I no.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Well, you know what, Quentin? We're just gonna see what happens. I have a special quiz prepared for you,
Okay.
and I'm gonna share my screen here, and I did kind of reveal. Oh shit! Hold on. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, we're awesome.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Nothing changed about your background. I don't know what like.
Yeah, I don't think anything
It's you closed your blinds. Like they were open.
Oh,
They were open for, and now they're closed. Right? That's what it was.
Mhm.
Right? There's nothing
Mhm.
else. Nothing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um. um. Well, Quentin, I did already reveal what the subject matter is, but yeah.
You
Welcome
did.
to Two Truths One Lie Pokemon Edition.
What?
So I have done a couple of these already. I've done a Mario one and I've done a Zelda one. So this is going to be a very similar, idea as those. Like basically, I'm going to give you three statements about the Pokemon series, and your job is to deduce out of those three statements which is the lie. Two of them will be two true things about Pokemon, and one of them will be a lie about Pokemon, and you have to tell me what you think is the
I'm
lie,
ready.
and we'll see how many you get right. There are going to be 10 rounds, and each round will be based on a different generation of Pokemon.
Okay.
With one exception, because there is, as of recording this, there is only 9 generations. One of them is going to be a different subject matter.
Really?
Or a different, concept related to Pokemon. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it without further ado. Here's question 1.
Okay.
Here are your beginning of your 3 statements. It is impossible to evolve the starter Pikachu that you receive in Pokemon Yellow. I'll remind you, these are all based on Generation 1.
Yep.
Ash was almost voiced by Leonardo DiCaprio. There were originally planned to be 65,535 versions of the original Game Boy Pokemon games. So, what do you think out of those 3 is the lie?
Okay, I know that. I know that the first one is true. I know that for a fact. The Leonardo DiCaprio thing, I feel like that's a little too ridiculous. But also the third one, I feel like that's like a. They were originally planned to be 65,535. I mean, that's a very specific number, which is making me against it. Oh,
Against that it's a lie, or against that it's a
yeah.
okay.
I think it's a lie, but I also feel like that's a trick that it's like very specific. You know what I mean?
Potentially.
So I don't know. Okay, it's not one. Cross off one. Editor, cross off one.
Cross
Put a
off
little
one.
like you put
You
a
know what?
fart on it
We'll
too.
here I'll comply. Don't worry. There is a way to do that on here. I forget, but we're just gonna underline it. I guess.
I think I'm gonna say it's number 2. I think Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think he was an Ash voicer. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So you're locking in 2.
I'm locking in.
All right. The correct answer was, it was in fact 1.
What? I
And
could have swore that you can't evolve it.
well, I'm gonna
What?
give you a little bit of context for this. Okay.
Uh, uh,
So first of all, I'll give you the context for the 2 true ones. So
uh,
Leonardo DiCaprio originally was going to be the voice of Ash in the movie, in the first movie. So that was
okay.
actually true. He wasn't,
Okay.
obviously, and he didn't end up voicing him, but that was originally planned on it. And then for the 65,000 versions, that actually was true. Originally, the creators of Pokemon wanted each copy to be like personalized, like up to that many. But
Wow.
they originally, like, that ended up being too ambitious, so
Yeah.
they just went with 2, obviously.
Uh,
With the first one, it is actually possible to evolve it if you trade that Pikachu to a different game.
oh,
You can't evolve
okay.
it in the original game, but if you trade it to a different Pokemon game, you can evolve it. So, a little bit of a tricky wording there.
That's
But
stupid.
I
That's stupid.
hey, I will say this. With these quizzes, I tend to make them harder as they go on. I'm gonna be honest with
Oh,
you. With this one, like, it's kind of all over the place. Like, some of these might be harder in the beginning, some of them might be harder later, but they might be easier sometimes. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, unfortunately,
we'll
Quinton,
see what
you do not
happens.
get your point for this one, but you have 9 more tries. So here we go. Here's question 2. These are all based on
All right.
Generation 2 of Pokemon.
Okay. Okay.
Pokemon Gold and Silver were planned to be the last Pokemon games. Despite being genderless in the mainline games, certain Celebi with confirmed genders exist. The beta name for Pichu was Peekaboo.
Okay, so I know the second one, unless it's another trick, but this one I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the second one's true. I think I've seen a Celebi with female gender, but I don't know where. I almost feel like it might have been like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or something, but
Okay.
the first one I also feel like might be true. So
Okay.
I'm gonna lock in. Oh wait, yeah. So I'm gonna lock in that 3 is the lie.
Okay. So we're locking in 3. So the beta name for Pichu was Peekaboo. What do you think the beta name was if you don't think it was Peekaboo? Like, what would you, if you
I
didn't
think
know that Pichu was named Pichu, what would you name it?
so. Considering that Pikachu is. Oh wait, the beta name for Pichu. Interesting. I don't know. I first. I guess I read the question wrong, but I'm still locking in for three.
Okay.
But I thought it was the beta name for Pikachu was, and I was like, well, if Pikachu's the second in the evolutionary chain, it would be called Pika 2. But mm,
So that would mean Pichu is Pika 1?
yeah, yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
You know what? Let's lock in there. That's the beta name for
Okay.
Pichu is Pika 1.
All right. Well, let's see if you're correct about that. The correct answer was, in fact, it was 3.
Woo!
Yeah,
Okay.
I made that up. Like I was just like, oh, it's a baby. It's a baby Pikachu, peekaboo. Haha, it's funny.
And Peekaboo,
Yeah.
wow.
Whoa. Yeah. Exactly.
That's stupid.
I know it's stupid. Why do I even try? Why do I even try?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the other two are
That's
true.
okay.
And you were right about the Celebi in Mystery Dungeon. That was where
Woo!
they were confirmed. Like the Celebi's referred to as she. So despite being genderless in the mainline games, yeah, that does exist. All right, moving on. So that is your first point. So congratulations. Let's move on to question 3.
Mm-hmm.
These are based on Generation 3.
Okay.
Deoxys was the first Pokemon to be distributed over Wi-Fi. Azurill is a transgender icon.
Slay.
Despite appearing on the cover of Pokemon Coliseum, neither Kyogre nor Groudon can be caught in the game.
Okay, I've never played, I've never played Pokemon Coliseum. I know nothing about Wi-Fi transfers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I got a Jirachi once from
Oh, okay.
and a few other Pokemon. But was Deoxys the first one? I feel like Deoxys. Azurill is a transgender icon. I mean, Slay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think
Yeah.
the third one
What do you
is
think?
true
You think the third one is
because
true? Okay.
it says neither Kyogre nor Groudon, but I think you can catch one of them. I don't know which one, but I when it's like no, both of these can't be caught. That's when I think there could be some tricky stipulation. Number 2, Azurill. I don't know if it has anything to do with. Oh, I'm imagining Zurill in my mind.
Yeah, do you remember that line? Azurill and Meryl and Azumarill? Okay. Despite the fact that Meryl and Azurill were introduced in Gen 2, Azurill. Sorry, I said that wrong. Meryl and Azumarill were introduced in Gen 2.
Azurill is a baby Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
That just feels weird for a baby Pokemon to be a transgender icon, but I mean, the line looks.
Oh, I was just gonna say
Line.
like I don't know
Okay.
how Pokemon like baby Pokemon work in regards to levels because you can have like a level 100 baby Pokemon, but is it still a baby at that point? You know what I
I'll
mean?
ask:
Like
Is Azurill a friendship evolution?
yes.
Okay, that makes me think that I think that makes me think closer to that one's also true.
Okay.
So I think 3 is the lie.
Okay. You think 3 is the lie?
Mm-hmm.
Which one of those do you think you could catch?
Can be caught.
Yeah.
I think I love Kyogre more, so I think you can wait. Yeah, I'm gonna say Kyogre. It seems like every time Kyogre is like the more like cinematic Pokemon than Groudon.
Okay.
Especially in that like one image where it's like Kyogre versus Groudon, and Groudon's on that small patch of land, and Kyogre has the entire sea
Yeah.
enveloping.
Yeah. That's true.
So I think you can catch Kyogre.
Okay. So you're locking in 3 as the lie.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Quinton, the correct
Uh,
answer was 1.
oh, it was 1.
And
Okay.
it's funny because you actually mentioned the actual first Pokemon that was distributed
Oh,
over
was it
Wi-Fi, which is
Jirachi?
Jirachi, yeah.
Oh man.
So it was in fact
Darn it.
not Deoxys. Again, a little technicality there. But yeah, the other two are true. And I want to explain the second one really quick just because I think it's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why Azurill is a transgender icon is because in Gen 3 there was a bug. Because basically, Pokemon have gender ratios. So like, certain Pokemon are like 50-50. Like you have a chance of getting like 50% male, 50% female. And then others are a little bit more like, like there's more of a disparity. Like with starters specifically, it's like 88% male, 12% female, something like that. With Azurill, the ratio is 75 female, 25 male, but Meryl is 50-50. So there is a chance in those games that when you evolve Azurill into Meryl, it can go from like female to male.
That is interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like the only Pokemon that like can do that, I think. But that's why Azurill is a transgender icon. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, slay. Yeah, we stand that,
Yeah, well, I stand that. Yeah.
All right, moving on to question 4. These are based on Generation 4.
Okay.
In 2008, the title Pokemon Brown was copyrighted. And that's a Generation 4 related question because this was during Generation 4 that this happened.
Okay.
If that is true.
Pokemon Brown.
It is possible to get a level 1 Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina in Generation 4 through legitimate means. Generation 4 introduced the largest Pokemon to date. So one of those is a lie.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, this could be another stupid, like, specific stipulation thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember getting a level 1 it was one of them. I remember getting a level 1 Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina in Generation 4.
Okay.
By doing a special event thing, and it was really awesome. I forgot. I think you need like an event Arceus or something to get one of these, or I don't remember how it worked. Okay. But I remember you can get a level 1.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm making that up, but I'm pretty sure. But it could have been just Giratina, because for some reason I remember only getting Giratina out of it.
Okay.
And it would be kind of weird that you can get a legendary, or the main legendary. I don't know. Well, I'm still thinking on it. But one, I know that Pokemon Brown has been copyrighted before. This could be. I know it's been. Well, now I'm second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure it's been copyrighted before. I'm pretty sure I've heard of that, and I was like, oh, that's a stupid name. My only stipulation is I feel like it would have been copyrighted not in 2008.
When do you think it would have been copyrighted?
During the when it was going like red, blue, green, and stuff like that. Like back when they were like doing more colors and stuff.
Okay.
But I also think I also remember that Pokemon just in general, like whenever they're making a new game, they just decide to copyright a bunch of names all at once. Like I think also Pokemon Gray was copyrighted. I think there's like a Pokemon, what was it? Z was copyrighted. I don't remember, but I remember just to cover all their bases, they copyrighted a bunch of names in Spree. So I'm pretty sure number 1 is true, unless it's like it wasn't in 2008, and in that case, I quit this quiz. So in other words,
do you really think I would do that?
Or I quit this quiz. If that's number 1, I quit this quiz.
It's not like I did that, in 2 other questions.
So in 2, I'm pretty sure 2 is right, unless. And okay, if 2 is also a lie, I quit this quiz.
It's actually level 2 Dialga Pokemon.
Yeah. Wait, what? Now I'm starting to think it actually might be level 5. But you know what? We're gonna throw away.
I'm just gonna let you know right now, just because I want to be fair. None of that is happening in this one.
Okay. Then I think the third one is the wrong one.
Okay, so you think that that number 3 is the lie?
Yeah.
Okay, are you gonna lock that? Is that your answer? Are you gonna lock that in?
Yeah, I mean, I never really counted how many Pokemon were added all at once, but I feel like Generation 4 probably has like a large Pokemon base, which you probably
Well, no, it's
thought,
not.
Oh,
it's not.
Yeah, what?
It's not like it introduced the largest amount. It's the largest size. Yeah.
No, I think there's a larger Pokemon.
Okay.
But I don't know. Oh, that does change my answer, but I still think number 3 is wrong.
Okay, so you're gonna lock in 3.
I lock in 3.
All right, Quinton. The correct answer was indeed 3.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah. Generation. Well, I'm not gonna actually tell you anything more about that one, but it did not. They did not introduce the largest one to date. I mean, we've had 5 generations since, so like that's probably that's probably part of the logic. But yeah, no, you were exactly right though. There's an event where you can get a level 1 Dialga Palkia or Giratina. I should have actually said or because you can only get one at a time. But it is with that event Arceus. So
I did that event. It was awesome.
I didn't do it because I know it was in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I got the games like after I found out about that. So like it was over by the time, and I was like, oh, that would have been so cool. But yeah, because I've seen like footage of it on YouTube. But
it's awesome. Yeah.
And then, Pokemon Brown was in fact copyrighted in 2008. And you were exactly right. There were a couple other Pokemon games titles that were copyrighted, even though I don't think we've had something like I think Pokemon Purple was copyrighted or something like that. But yeah, it was in 2008 for whatever reason. I think Black and White was also copyrighted in that year too. So, all right.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that was question 2. So you got another point. Congratulations.
Woo! Okay.
And we are moving on to question 5, which these are based on Generation 5.
Okay.
Arcan and Archeops are the only fossil Pokemon without hidden abilities. Only Autumn Form Deerling / Sawsbuck has been available in mainline Pokemon games past Generation 5. An item called the Godstone exists in the code of the mainline Pokemon games since Generation 5, despite going unused.
Godstone. I feel like with something called Godstone, it would have come out like before Generation 5, back when like Arceus was a thing. But why do I feel like that's the lie? I feel like that's the lie.
What do you
I also feel like okay, so the first one I could go either way. I wait, so the Gen 5 fossil Pokemon that has the turtle, right? The Tortuga or something?
Yep.
Does Tortuga have a hidden ability? Tortuga. That's the only other fossil I know. Wait, there's Tortuga and then there's there's the Tyrant, right?
Well, yeah, that was in Generation 6. Keep in mind that like this is just in general, like out of all fossil Pokemon,
are the only fossil Pokemon without hidden abilities.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the only one in Gen 5 with hidden abilities. Okay. I think past Generation 5. Does Black and White 2 still count as Generation 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I kind of worded this is just bothering me. I kind of worded this wrong. Like, I meant to say this more so has existed, but it doesn't really change anything. I just like, yeah.
Actually, I think that does change things because I thought like, oh, never mind. No, I guess it's just
the wording was bothering me, but the meaning is the same.
Otherwise, I think that one's true. I think that one's true.
Okay.
I don't have any basis to back it up, though. I think that one's true.
Okay. It's okay to go with your gut,
Yeah, I think...
Unless you're wrong.
Only Autumn for Deerling and Sawsbuck have been available in the mainline Pokemon games past Generation 5. I almost feel like this one's true, but I also feel like there might be like some sort of like Safari or something, or like there's like one other game that puts the other ones in. Like, what about Pokemon Go? I feel like Pokemon Go has different season Deerling and Sawsbuck because that's something they totally do, which is stupid. So that's why I think number 1 is the lie. I think there's some other stupid fossil like Kabutops that doesn't have a hidden ability.
Oh, okay. But you were just backing up why you thought
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. No. So you're right. I think the second one is a lie then because of Pokemon
Okay.
Go. You're right.
Okay, you think
I forgot the name of the game. Call me Ian
Ian
Hecox.
Hecox did that's a Ian
Yeah.
Hecox moment. That's funny.
I
Yeah.
forgot how the game works. Yeah.
The next
Okay,
one
yeah. I'm looking at number two.
I cheated on you. No.
Yeah. I'm locking
Okay,
in
so you're
number
locking
two.
in two. Are you sure that's
Yeah.
your final answer?
Final answer. Final answer.
All right. Well, Quinton, the correct answer was in fact two.
Woo!
So you got
Let's
it.
go.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And you're basically right. Like the reason why that's not true is because you can get the other forms through transferring them from black and white. Like if you have a winter form Deerling in black and white, you can transfer it to Pokemon Sword, and then you have it in there.
That's the dumbest.
Isn't that cool?
No.
Actually, maybe not that because they might not even be in Sword and Shield. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know. Either way, that one was wrong, and the other ones are in fact true. So congratulations, you get your third point.
I'm not happy about that. That
And
question tricked me in a wrong way.
yeah, do you hate Deerling and Sawsbuck with a passion?
I never liked them, but yeah.
But there's this little cute little deer guy.
Moving on. Boom.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you know right now. You have 3 points, and there's 5 questions left. So you can
60%.
yeah, you can get like you can end this with 80% potentially. So we'll see. You know, I don't want to give you too high hopes, but maybe you'll
For a living?
maybe you'll get them. Yeah. No, no, I don't know why you would say that. Okay, so truth be told, Quinton, the next question 6. These are not based off of Generation 6. In fact, these are based off of specifically Pokemon spin-off games. I know I'm breaking the pattern. You know, sue me, but these are based off of Pokemon spin-off games. So, you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
I really like.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Okay, well, here we go. Pokemon spin-offs. In Pokemon Go, there is placeholder text for eggs that reads, "Hatch this egg by feeding it butter. It likes all kinds of butter, every kind, the best kind." In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity, the character Swanna references "Call Me Baby" by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Okay.
As of July 2024, which is when we were recording this, every game in the Pokemon Ranger series has only been officially playable on the Nintendo DS.
This is stupid. They're all spin-offs, and I've only played Pokemon Go, okay?
I thought you said you played Mystery Dungeon.
I played Mystery Dungeon, but wait, is Gates to Infinity is that the Explorers
That's-
of Time
No, that's
trilogy?
that one
Or is
came
it a
out on the
different trilogy?
3DS.
Yeah, I don't think I played that one.
Also, I'm gonna change the wording again of one of these.
Okay.
Don't let me sway you either way, but that's how I'm
Officially
changing.
released has only been okay. I think the third one.
Yeah,
I
what do
think
you
the third
think?
one's true.
What do you think about "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen? I really want to know.
I think I don't think Swanna's the one to sing it.
Really? Well, I didn't say she sung it. I just said she referenced it.
Oh, references Call Me Baby. I don't think Swanna's the kind of what is it, a goose? I don't think it's the kind of
She's a swan,
goose
man.
to
She's a swan.
I don't think Swan is the kind of swan to reference "Call Me Baby."
Okay.
Uh-huh. But the butter thing, I think the first one's false.
Oh.
And my reasoning
okay.
is I think there's some other placeholder text that's like hatch
like
this
slightly
egg by
different.
feeding it like steak or something. Who thinks of butter when it comes to eggs with butter is good.
I guess I also should have probably wrote something like this. This is more so like what I meant.
In the code. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of more so what I meant, but
Actually, you know what? I think the first one is true. I mean, I know I said maybe it's either true or it's not. Like it's a different word besides butter. because I feel like Pokemon Go really wanted to add like these random stupid items for you to like, could swipe into your Pokemon and stuff like that and give it berries and stuff.
Okay.
Uh, I, I think the second one's false again. I don't think it's Swanna, that stupid goose or whatever that references Call Me Maybe.
Okay, so you think what?
I think number two is wrong.
Okay,
Uh,
do you think that Swanna referenced a different song, or do you think a different Pokemon referenced "Call Me Maybe"?
I think Swanna references a different song. I think Swanna references White Iverson by Post Malone.
Okay, so you're gonna lock in number two.
I lock in number two.
All right, Quinton. The correct
Uh,
answer was three.
was three? Oh man.
So this is technically, and I'm also gonna change it here just to explain it better. So, they came out. The Pokemon Ranger games came out for the Wii U. You can play them on the Wii U,
Okay.
and that was the only other. But other like they all were native to the DS. Do you?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I feel like that's like a re-release, but was it the same game or were they new games?
They were the same game. Like they were the
Okay.
old games from the
Okay.
DS. They were re-released on. But that's why I changed the wording to released.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Um, so that was just like that was another like technical one. But the other two are true. There is code in
Okay.
Pokemon Go that says that for some reason. I think
Uh,
it's placeholder text. It's not meant to be seen. Like I don't think they
mm,
were ever planning on using it. And then yeah, in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I actually did play this specific Mystery Dungeon game. I don't remember
mm.
that line of text, but according to the internet, that is true. That Swanna does say something about "Call Me Maybe."
That stupid
So it's
swan.
pretty
Okay.
cool. It's pretty cool. As much as I would have loved if they referenced White Iverson, this is unfortunately the reality we live in.
I feel like that was such like a missed opportunity.
I know. Even though this game came out in 2013 and I think White Iverson came out in 2018, they should have did
They
it.
should have thought about it.
They should
Yeah.
have thought about it. What the maybe that would have made the game good. But oh well.
Rememberable. I don't even remember it ever coming out. Or,
Yeah.
like being a thing.
It wasn't that great. The gates or the explorers of darkness and those were better. Anyway, moving on to question 7. These we're gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be a little weird now because these are based off of Generation 6. So here we go. I'll remind you that's X and Y. But yeah, Phantump was designed in 30 minutes. Pokemon X and Y were the first mainline Pokemon games to be released worldwide on the same date. The Kalos region was going to be expanded upon in DLC, featuring locations based on southern France.
Okay, well, three is could be a lie because Southern France sucks, and I think Pokemon knows that. So sorry, Southern France, but I don't think you
Damn.
were going to be expanded upon in DLC.
Dude, 90% of my audience is from southern France. They're going to come for you.
Actually, you know what? I think three. Oh, I think three is true. I think it could either be a true because they plan to do it, but then they're like, no, we'll just make we'll just make Z now, which is what they're doing now with what is it called?
Oh,
Legend Z or something.
Legend ZA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that was the plan, and they're like, well, let's do it now
Okay.
with Legend ZA,
Hmm.
or I don't know, maybe they're in the thinking process. I think maybe one Phantup was designed in 30 minutes. What if it was no? Actually, Phantup was designed in 13 minutes. That one could be a lie or something like that. And then Pokemon X and Y were the first mainline games to be released worldwide on the same day. Oh, I didn't even consider that one a question or an answer yet, so I haven't even thought about that. Um, Pokemon does always like releasing their games, kind of at different times. I remember they used to because that was just like a Japan thing. But also, I feel like Nintendo's been pretty good at being like, no, we're not going to release games early.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Do you remember?
At this point, oh, good.
Do you remember there was that time when like there would be like those leaks from that magazine of Pokemon, like new Pokemon that were coming out, like because the games did used to come out first in Japan, and And yeah, like there used to be like this like leaks from this magazine because I would like watch videos on YouTube of like, oh my god, new black and white Pokemon revealed and stuff.
Mm.
And that was, I don't know, it was kind of exciting, but we don't get that now because, which I do kind of prefer, but like um, I don't know, there was something kind of fun about that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really go on the internet a lot back then. Like well, I guess
Yeah,
X
that's
and Y I
fair.
did, but like black and white I really didn't, so I didn't really remember like a point where like it was oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, the Pokemon release beforehand. It was always like, oh my God, I'm so excited for November for these new Pokemon games. And then
Yeah, it was
that's
always
the only thought
November.
I gave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the time of my birthday, so it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm trusting my heart. I think one is wrong. I think one is the
Okay.
lie.
Do you think do you think that's just completely wrong, or do you think it was like a different time period?
I think it was 13 minutes.
13 minutes? Okay.
Mm.
Well, let's see if you're right, Quinton. The correct answer was three. Three was,
Oh
in
my
fact,
goodness.
the lie. There was never planned on being. There was never DLC planned
Dang.
for Pokemon X and
I
Y.
knew it. I should
I
have trusted my gut.
you
Southern France sucks.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like you did mention that like Pokemon Z was. I think they were planning on doing Pokemon Z,
Mhm.
but then they just scrapped it because they were like, well, fuck X and Y. I don't
It's
know.
too late. We only have a year to make any Pokemon game,
Yeah,
regardless of quality, so we don't have
exactly.
time to think about this.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
which never happens anymore. Good thing that never happens anymore, and that only happened in
Yeah.
that one instance. No, and then yeah, Pokemon X and Y. This was a big deal. Like they were the first mainline games that were like released worldwide on the same day. I remember that was like a big thing that they were like pushing. And then Phantom was in fact designed in 30 minutes, loosely. Like basically, this guy that like worked for the Pokemon company, he was like kind of like more in training, but
Mhm.
they basically like put him in a room like he wanted to like be a part of like the directing team for one of the games, so they put him in the room and they were like, design a Pokemon, you have 30 minutes, and he came up with Phantom loosely, and then the design for Phantom was changed a little bit, but like in general the idea for Phantom was designed in 30 minutes, which I thought was kind of neat.
Hell yeah.
So
Cool beans.
let's move on to question 8 now. These are based off
Okay.
Generation 7, Sun and Moon.
Sun and
Your
Moon.
favorite generation.
I love this
Um,
generation so much.
all right. The number first one is a third version of Pokemon Sun and Moon, titled Pokemon Stars, was planned for the new Nintendo 3DS but was scrapped. In
Okay.
Pokemon Moon, when the totem Raticate appears, it mistakenly has the cry of a Gumshoos. Guzzlord is actually based on the creatures that Dean sees in his sleep. I'm kidding. That's not actually the last statement. The last
Okay.
statement is Alola Executor was conceived in the 1990s.
Was conceived
Yes.
in the 1990s.
Yeah. Did you like my little fake my fake statement?
Yeah, but I hate Dean,
Oh,
so
okay.
you
That's why. Okay.
know.
Damn. Well,
Yeah.
do you like Guzzlord? Do you like the Ultra Beasts in general? I know the Ultra Beasts are a little
No, I
they're a
don't
little
like the old beast.
controversial in the
Yeah.
Pokemon fandom.
Especially since after a banger of Mega Evolutions, they're like, yeah, let's just get rid of that in entirety.
That's true. And then they got we got Z moves, which was like, why did they introduce Z moves? Why didn't they introduce? I mean, like, wouldn't that make more sense in X and Y? I don't know. I'm glad they
Yeah, I
didn't
think it was too
introduce an X and
much.
Y because Mega Evolution was arguably better.
Mega Evolutions was so great, and I like ever since then they've never added something that like meets my expectations of Mega Evolutions, which I guess like it's anyway. That's for debate night. Let's think about this. I think number one's wrong. That's just my immediate assumption. I in the second one, yeah, I feel like number one's wrong. How it was? I almost think for a little bit that like maybe it was like technically like copyrighted or is listed as a copyright like Pokemon Stars.
Okay.
I feel like it wouldn't have been planned. I don't think it was planned. I'm gonna say I think number one's wrong.
Okay. So
Mhm.
why? What do you think? Despite the fact that remember, Sun and Moon came out in 2016, do you think
Mhm.
Alolan Exeggutor was conceived all the way back in the 90s?
In the 90s. Um, I mean, their design is very, very basic, I would say.
Okay.
Like they're like, hey, let's like, because Alolan's Executor is just like a big tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're probably just like, hey, what if we make like a Hawaiian version or something of this tree? Like, I almost think like maybe they're like, it was like a little birth thought of like, what if we made this tree have like different variations? But then they just are like, no, that's stupid. So,
Oh, okay.
mhm. Wait, when was Executor?
Exeggutor was in Gen 1, but then Alolan
Okay.
Exeggutor, was like new to Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I guess the important thing is like when was Executor regular conceived?
Mm-hmm.
Write in the
Well, it would have
comments.
been in
Let me know.
that would have been in the 90s because that was. I mean,
Mhm.
I guess it wouldn't necessarily might have not been in the 90s, but when leading up to when Pokemon came out, the original games, because Exeggutor was in the original games.
But like I said, I lock
Anyway,
in. I think it's number one.
all right, I'll stop trying to whatever sway you.
Uh,
You were right. The correct answer was one.
Woo! Okay,
Um,
cool.
so yeah, there was rumors of a game called Pokemon Stars that was going to be for the Switch, but that never
Oh,
obviously never ended up happening. Um, and then yeah, Alolan Exeggutor, there was a piece of concept art for the Pokemon trading card game that had a long necked Exeggutor, and so
oh.
people are like, oh
Okay.
my god, Alolan Exeggutor was planned all the way back then. I don't necessarily know if that's true, but like that is a thing. It's kind of neat because it's like,
Okay.
oh shit. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah. Anyway, moving on to question 9. This is the penultimate question based on Generation 8, Sword and Shield.
My other favorite generation.
Yep. Here are the statements. Galarian Weezing can learn the most self-destructing moves out of all Pokemon to date.
Okay.
The wild area originally had no overworld Pokemon in it. Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon were inspired by a glitch in the Generation 7 games that caused Pokemon to inexplicably grow very large.
Why do I feel like three I've heard of, but also I don't know. I feel like I've heard of that once, but I don't really have any basis to prove it off of. I feel like the second one, when they made Generation 8, Sword and Shield, they're like that was their biggest like pitch was the open world. But
Yeah.
I guess their biggest pitch wasn't necessarily Pokemon in the open world. But that's stupid. Pokemon's stupid if it's number two. Or if that, oh, I guess Pokemon is stupid if that's true. But I think it's true.
Okay.
And Galarian Weezing can learn the most self-destructing moves out of all Pokemon to date. What about Exploud? Well, I guess Exploud doesn't really have a lot of self-destruct. It might. Um,
I can imagine Exploud self-destructing.
at least it should at least have like explosion, I
Yeah,
think.
I don't know if it does, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And then there's Explode, who wait,
Explosion.
Electrode. No,
Oh,
Electrode.
Electrode, yeah.
Yeah, that has some explosion moves. Galarian Weezing. Galarian Weezing. This could be like another like tricky question where like Galarian Weezing in the Pokemon games, in the regular mainline Pokemon games, know the most self-destructing moves. But in Pokemon Coliseum, this Pokemon can learn more explosion moves because why not, or something like
Well,
that.
Pokemon. I mean, Galarian Weezing wasn't in Coliseum.
Well, what I mean is
No,
like,
I know. I mean, I know what you're saying.
yeah, because it's to date, it's not just in Gen 8, you know. So that's why that's
Oh,
tricking
that's
me a little
oh
bit.
yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
The Wild Area, Dynamax, and Gigantamax. I also feel like the third one is kind of like a almost like a not a creepy pasta, but like almost like a fan made headcanon rumor.
Oh, the third
That's how I
one.
kind of feel about it. Yeah, I kind of feel like I've heard that before, but then it's like based off of no evidence whatsoever, or like just a fan made, uh, I made it up kind of rumor.
Mm.
Uh, so I'm gonna guess it's number. I'm gonna guess it's number three. It's the. I'm gonna guess it's number two. Two is the
Mm.
least. Two is giving me the least warning, so I think it's the lie. It seems
Okay.
the least. It seems the most harmless, so I think it's the lie.
Interesting thought process. Okay.
Mhm.
So what you're saying is you think that Pokemon always planned on having overworld Pokemon in the wild area. Like like
Uh,
there was no point when there was none. Like they always were like, "Oh yeah, wild area, overworld Pokemon."
I mean,
I'm not trying to
maybe.
convince you one way or the other, or maybe I am.
Sure, sure.
But
No,
it's
I
just,
mean that's a good point because I do think like maybe originally the wild area was not meant to be like as big as it is. But
okay.
also I feel like what is it just going to be walking simulator if there's no overworld Pokemon in it? Like, come on, it's already walking
This
simulator
is
enough. But I don't know, maybe they're cooking on something. No, I'm locking in number two.
You're locking in number 2. You think 2 is the lie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Quentin, the correct answer was 3.
Ah,
You were
three.
right.
Okay.
That was fan fiction headcanon because
Oh,
I
I
made it up.
knew it.
I made it
Oh my
up. That
goodness.
was not
Okay.
true.
Darn it. Oh my
Yeah, I
goodness.
think it's stupid that they actually literally they were not gonna have overworld Pokemon in in the wild area. That big area for for a Pokemon game, that
Wait.
giant area. There was gonna be no
I guess
overworld Pokemon. It was just gonna be grass like any other route, but it was just gonna be really big.
I guess I should have clarified that. Like I guess I should have said that like was grass still there for like wild grass? And if that's the case, I could see it. Pokemon's dumb like that.
It's stupid. Like
Yeah.
the only reason why they added overworld Pokemon, it was like a very like last minute decision because people
Uh,
liked it in the Let's Go games, and that's why they added it. I
uh,
think that that's stupid because why would that not be something that you'd want to have anyway? I don't know. It's stupid. I don't
I
get
just
it.
like to think
Pokemon is
like
stupid.
Pokemon has always been like we understand the audience's dreams is they want to see Pokemon like in the world in real life. They want to like,
Mm-hmm.
hey Pixelmon, you know that mod we sued, that harmless mod that we sued
Yeah.
a long time ago, and then we
Mm-hmm.
made that stupid Pokecube game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had overworld Pokemon, and we know a lot of people liked it, but we're suing
I
it.
forgot about the
Um,
Pokecube
yeah.
game.
Anyway, for our next game, we're gonna provide very low optimization performance and not add overworld Pokemon because we know that's what you want.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Ugh. Dumb
Um,
question.
and then yeah, Galarian and Weezing can learn the most self-destructing. I think it's because it can learn like explosion, self-destruct, and like there's like a move called Misty Explosion or something like that. I don't know. It's I don't know, dude. Anyway, moving on to the final question, question 10.
Oh my Lanta.
These are based on Generation 9, the most recent generation.
The generation I definitely played the most.
Yep. Pokemon Violet is the lowest rated main series Pokemon game of all time. Ed Sheeran was originally planned to make an appearance as a challengeable opponent in the post game of Scarlet and Violet. It is possible to visit the Unova region in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
I'm not even gonna think about it. I think number one's false, and I think it's actually Pokemon Scarlet is the lowest rated main series Pokemon game.
Really?
Yep.
You think
Yeah,
that
I'm
that
locking
would
in. I'm not even gonna
this
think about
late?
it.
What?
Yeah, not even gonna think about it.
So you think
So
okay.
you're trying to get in my mind right now, Tony. You're like, oh, I'm gonna tell Quinton, make him debatable. No, nope, not thinking about it. Number one.
Okay. There's nothing I can say. I mean, I don't want to. It's hard to do these because like I want to talk to you and like hear your thought process, but I also don't want to like mess with your decision because I want it
All
to
right.
be
I'll
organically
hear what you have to
yours.
say. Let's hear
Um,
what you have to say.
I don't know. Well, I was just gonna say. I'm
Oh,
just gonna say that means that you
huh?
think that not only do you think that the Unova region that you can go to the Unova in Scarlet and Violet, but that Ed Sheeran was also going to be an opponent that you could challenge
Okay.
in the post game.
One, Ed Sheeran he has orange hair.
That's you're
Need I
not
say
wrong.
more?
No,
Yeah.
you
Number
you
3,
need not.
I almost think I feel like I've heard something like this, but wait a minute. Wait. No, like I said, I don't want to think about it. But I feel like I've heard something, so I'm locking in number 1.
All right. Well,
Uh-huh.
Quinton, the correct
Uh-huh.
answer was 2.
Oh,
It's
2.
true. I thought that would be like a dead giveaway. I had to
See,
hold myself back from
mhm.
laughing at that one.
I will say this: Ed Sheeran. One, I said his hair is red, but my real reasoning is that he was in the credits.
He was in the credits.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I feel like they would have planned something to like bring in more audience members or something, or they would have made like a really close like reference to Ed Sheeran. But clearly, I was wrong.
I wish it was true. Trust me. Out of all of the things that I made up to like,
Uh,
out of all the lies that I made up for this quiz,
uh
this is the one that I wish was true.
And then he would have went, "I'm in love with the Pikachu."
That would have been so awesome. Immediately, because
I feel
Pokemon
like
Violet.
Pokemon Violet would have been rated way up
Yeah,
there.
because that is true. Pokemon Violet is currently the lowest rated main series Pokemon game. I think it has like a 73, which is like not
Okay.
terrible, but like for Pokemon
Mhm.
standards, it's pretty bad. And I think that would have improved its score tremendously.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
also, in part of the DLC of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, one of the places that you go to is supposedly in the Unova region. So,
Awesome.
yeah, there you go. So,
Mhm.
Quinton, that is the game. Thank you for playing. Quinton, you ended with 4 points. So
4 points.
40%. Hey, you know what? That's better than 30.
That is better than 30.
And there were some tricky ones in there. So
There were, yeah.
there were some stinky ones in there. So, overall, I think you did pretty well. Thank you for playing.
Mhm.
And thank you all for watching. Thank you all at home for sitting for watching this quiz. Hopefully you played along and you learned a little something about Pokemon today.
Yeah, and you know what? Make sure to catch that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm.
Volt tackle the like button, and
And
I don't know, ominous wind the comment section.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and what's this? Ending title screen. I choose you. Okay,
That's awesome. Oh yeah, we have to do brother
Yeah.
fist. All right, bye guys. Bye.
Bye. All right, that was stupid.
I was just like, I'm just gonna let him cook at the end there.
Yeah.